Hey everyone, without further ado, let's jump right into all the films that I watched in March of 2022. The first two movies I watched in March were two documentaries about the fashion industry, Dior and I and The First Monday in May. Dior and I follows Raf Simons as he begins and completes his first collection at Dior, and The First Monday in May is about the preparation of the Met Gala when they held the theme China Through the Looking Glass. Both documentaries give you a special, intimate access into the world of fashion, as well as the broader world of fashion business and events, and are very easy watches. Next, because I was in a Frenchy fashion mood, I guess, I rewatched Amélie. This movie follows the lead character Amélie, who lives a simple life as a waitress in Paris, but is forced out of her comfort zone as she begins to secretly do good deeds for her neighbours and her community. The film is gorgeous and it's a real true classic of French cinema, and if you haven't seen it by now, I really do recommend it. The next movie I watched in March was the first movie that I watched at the cinemas this year, and that was The Batman. And I'm so glad that I saw it in the cinemas because the look of the film and the sound is something that needs to be seen and experienced on the biggest screen possible. The movie was really, really good. I really enjoyed it despite not being, the biggest superhero comic book fan out there. But I really liked it. I liked the new take on Batman, how it was a bit more of a detective spin. I thought Robert Pattinson's performance was really good, and yeah, just the sound and the cinematography stand out for me as being really, really incredible. And I'm still kind of ticked off that the Batman wasn't shortlisted for sound in the Oscars because I thought it was going to win it, but I guess not. Next, I watched The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I hadn't seen the movie before, and I was in the mood for a bit of a lighter comedy, and the movie was fine. And on the same day, I watched The Bellier Family, which is a French movie that was remade last year into Coda, which ended up going on to win at the Oscars. At the time of watching the movie, Coda was beginning to do really well in award season and really grab the attention of a lot of people. So I thought I'd watch the original since I couldn't watch the actual one. And it was good. It's a good, solid family drama. Next, I watched The Warm Money, which was I think, German short film. From me, I can't remember much about it, and I think I fell asleep in it, even though it was a short film. But it's about two women who I think they rob men to fund their aspirational lifestyle. I can't really remember much from it. So that's that. Then on the same day, I watched Spotlight, which I thought was a really good film, a really interesting film. The film follows the true story of the Spotlight team of journalists at the Boston Globe who tried to uncover and write a story about child abuse in the Catholic Church. I thought that the film was incredible, particularly the acting. Big standouts from Michael Keaton and Mark Ruffalo. I thought that they did a phenomenal job. I'm a big sucker for these kind of journalist style movies, and I thought that this movie was great, really well paced, good emotion, good energy, and well worth a watch. Next, I watched a movie called Another Round, which is a Danish film about a group of teachers who try to prove a theory that your life will be improved or your quality of life will be improved if you consistently remain at a certain level of intoxication. So they constantly begin to drink and remain at this kind of base level of inebriation. And it's just about their experiences of testing out the theory and how being consistently drunk begins to positively and negatively affect their relationships and the world around them. This movie is really, really good. From memory, I think it won Best International Feature at the Oscars, I think in 2020, but I'm not sure about that. But it's an excellent film, and it's remembered best for its end scene, which I don't think I'm spoiling anything in saying this, but the end scene is like a dance sequence. And when I first heard about that, I was like, oh, it's just going to be like a cheesy flash mob. It's going to be really shit. But then I forgot about that as I was watching it. And then when we got to the end scene, it was just really like a perfect fitting way to end the movie. Then I watched a South Korean drama called Snowball about a group of teenage girls who decide to run away from home. The film explores why they left home, what it's like for them out on the street as they try to live independently, and then the repercussions of running away and what their life looks like when they kind of return back into normal society. This movie was a lot more darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of like a teen drama, but it actually felt more like a horror and a thriller at some points because it was so dark and really, really tense. So I don't know if I would recommend this movie to everyone, but if you're interested in kind of expanding your knowledge of South Korean movies beyond like Parasite, I would recommend this one. Then I rewatched Short Term 12, which is an American indie drama about a inpatient facility. For me, the standout thing from this movie that I remember and that I always remember is the performance by Brie Larson. Her performance is incredible, but Short Term 12 really shows like that she is a good actress and she knows what she's doing, and the movie is incredible. I would give it a watch. Then I watched what I think has become one of my favorite movies of 2022, which is The Eternal Return of Antonis Paraskevas. I know I've butchered that surname, but apologies. It is a film about a Greek breakfast TV host who stages his own kidnapping to increase his fame and popularity and boost the ratings of his show. So he hides out in this hotel that is closed for the winter, and he tries to kind of control the reception of his kidnapping and what's happening and how it's being reported from this hotel. And as you can imagine, like as the news cycle continues, people move on from the news that he's been kidnapped. And so he begins to try and control the story and escalate the story from this hotel, all while he's going mad. Like it's kind of like The Shining, like this man is just going mad in this hotel. But it's also like very awkwardly funny as well, and very kind of kooky. I really like this film. This film is so cool. I thought it was really a great mix of like comedy, but also like a little bit of a thriller as well. It's the first Greek movie that I've ever watched, and it's introduced me to a concept called Greek Weird Wave, which is a bunch of movies like this that are like very awkward, very tense, very weird. Dogtooth by Yorgos Lanthimos is, I think, the best example of Greek Weird Wave. But I love this movie and I'm looking forward to checking out more Greek cinema and Greek Weird Wave. And then the final film that I watched in March was The Power of the Dog. And I watched it the night before the Oscars because I thought that The Power of the Dog was going to win everything. And so I wanted to actually have an opinion on what the movie was like and if I enjoyed it or not. The movie was fine. It's the first Jane Campion movie that I've ever watched, so I didn't really know what to expect. It was definitely quite slow and brooding, and I don't know if I enjoyed it, but I did respect it in a way. You know, when it's like you didn't really enjoy a movie, but you understand that like the performances were good, the cinematography was good, you know, overall it was a very like well put together, intriguing movie, but it just didn't grab my attention and I didn't have the best experience watching it. So overall it was a fine movie, and that's all I really have to say about it. So that wraps up all the movies that I saw in March this year. As always, thank you for watching my videos and thank you for listening in, and all the best for 2023. I hope that this upcoming year is full of good health and good moments and good movies, and I hope to see you all on this channel in the new year. Thank you so much.